I promise that things are different, even though I'm in the same outfit and it's the same day. I promise I'm like doing other things. I'm just really on board with multitasking. Hey guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to Book It, and today we are going to be talking about another book while I cook. I have eggs and diced ham and peppers in front of me. I'm gonna be making so my mom always called them eggums, but that's not like the actual word. There's like an actual word for them. But basically you put eggs, you know, a protein and some vegetables, and you like chop them up and you put them into one of these and you bake them, and then throughout the week you just pop them in the microwave and boom boom boom, you're good to go. It's like a meal prep thing. Yeah, just trying to be a little healthier in life, just because I don't want to, you know. Yeah, but we are also going to be discussing a book that I just recently finished, which is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This was Reese Witherspoon, her book club pick of May 2020. I just got around to it. There are 5 points of views, which is so, like, usually you get like 1 or 2, maybe a third, but like to have 5 points of view on a murder mystery, insane. I am going to say that I'm not going to spoil this book, but I am going to talk in detail about a lot of things, so I'm not going to spoil it as of the current present, but I might say a lot of clues that kind of give you the inclination of like who did it. But basically, it's about a wedding is happening, and it takes place on this like island off of Ireland, and it's like nobody goes this island. It's not a popular like place. It's literally like abandoned. But the girl and guy that are getting married there, the guy is a TV star. He does a show called Survival, which is basically just him out in the wilderness surviving. And the girl runs a popular like blog called The Download. And like she's a trendsetter, so they're having this wedding after only a few months of knowing each other and a few months of engagement. And they're having it off at this island, and everyone's like, why are they having it here? I honestly think it was like a trend thing. Like she was like, yeah, I really want to get married here. Like it was a great deal. And then we meet the wedding planner, who was like, yeah, I gave them a great deal because, like, you know, they're famous. They'll bring us a lot of, like, publicity, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, so the people that are there, like, on the first night are the bride, the groom, the best man, the bridesmaid, wedding planner, the +1, and then the wedding planner's husband. So we go through and we are, like, you know, learning about people one-on-one. So basically the bride, her best friend is this guy named Charlie, and Charlie's wife is the +1. So she's not really like friends with Jules, but she's like just there, and like her husband and her are like best friends, which I mean, she kind of like says that interview, and she's like, yeah, they're like really, really close, and like, you know, me and Jules aren't like that or whatever. And my first thought was, so when did your husband sleep with this lady, right? And like, it's completely ignored until like the end of the book when they're like, yeah, we did sleep together. And I'm like, I knew it. Like the way that Jules and Charlie were talking about each other or Jules was talking about Charlie was like wild. She was like, yeah, like I think about him, and like I wish I saw him a lot more, but like ever since he married Hannah and had kids, like I don't see him, and it's really sad. Like, girl, you're getting married to another man. And the guy that, like, you're talking about is married, and his wife is there, and they have 2 children. So, like, yeah, but we find out that they have sex later on. But then we meet the bridesmaid, who is there by herself because her boyfriend and her just broke up. And it was, like, really bad breakup, and she doesn't want to talk about it with anybody. So, God forbid anyone brings it up. And it's, like, just one thing after another. You just, like, get to know these people. And, like, none of them, in all honesty, none of them are like great characters. Like, I did not really love any particular character. which is so bad to say because I usually love like at least one character in a murder mystery, but like when all of them kind of just suck, it's not really my cup of tea. So like, anyway, the wedding is going on and there's like blackouts and people's secrets are coming forward. So there's not like right off the bat, we know someone gets murdered, right? Like right off the bat, we know that somebody gets murdered. We just don't know who, we don't know when, and we don't know where, we don't know why. And it's like, the best man is like, he's having problems because he gets fired from every job he has because he keeps smoking weed. And the plus one is upset because her husband wants to bang the bride. The bride's upset because she's, you know, trying to have the perfect day and it's not going perfect. The bridesmaid is having a rough time because she's going through a terrible breakup, a terrible loss, and she's in love with like the groom or something. And the groom's just like chilling because he's like, oh, wedding. It's like a bunch of like, and then the wedding planner is all stressed out because she has like this wedding of the year basically. And she's just on this island and like everything's going wrong, right? So like at some point you just call it quits. Like when do y'all just call this quits? The answer is never. They never call it quits. So they're like still 100% going to have this wedding and there's like a bunch of secrets are coming out left and right. I'm not really going to spoil the secrets because it's like kind of interesting, but basically it comes down to like, okay, who gets murdered and why? The person that gets murdered totally deserved it. 100% deserved it. I literally read it and I was like, yeah, you know what? Makes sense. You deserved it. Like, you were a terrible person, and if anyone were to die on this island, it should have been you. All right, hold on, I'm gonna stop. This is what they look like. So like after you do them. Yummy. But everyone's, you know, running around, and basically the ending is like a setup. Like they set one person up to like fall for it, even though that person didn't do anything, which is really clever. But I personally like it was very well written. I just don't know if I liked all 5 point of views because I audiobooked it. And I'm very lucky that the audiobook I was listening to had like different readers for different things, so I could kind of keep up on that aspect. But like if it was like an audiobook where like it's just one reader, I feel like that would have been so much harder to keep track of, and I feel like it would have been like very confusing and I wouldn't have been able to audiobook it. So I'm very blessed that I listened to an audiobook that had multiple people, you know, talking and multiple people that did different voices and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, what else did I say? I said we learned from I said that in my notes, I put there are too many POVs because I get confused, LOL. Also something that really bothered me about this book is that we keep jumping back and forth. We jump from the time that like the wedding, it's like, it starts with like the night before the wedding, and then it jumps to the wedding, and then it jumps to the night after the wedding, and then it jumps to the murder, and then it jumps to the present situation, and then it jumps back to the like day before. Then it jumps back to the day before, but hours before that. So it's like, it's very jumpy, and like the timeline is kind of confusing to keep up with among other things. Just because it's like, I like it when it's like one set thing, but that's just how like my brain works. So I mean, some people probably loved it, but I'm sorry, are my neighbors like having like a literal dance party at 11 a.m.? But yeah, I just personally, I liked the book a lot. It was highly recommended. I would recommend this to people if you like, you know, that kind of thriller, murder, mystery scenario. The only thing that I will say is that if you are going to audiobook it, make sure you get an audiobook that has multiple readers, because doing it with just 1 or 2 readers might be too confusing. Luckily, I had one that was like 3 or 4 different readers, which was very, very nice, and I was able to keep up with it. But yeah, the ending was pretty much a shock. There's a lot of build up to it, which is really cool and awesome. But yeah, that's the guest list by Lucy Foley. I was, you know, they all kind of had motive for killing the person that died. And it even says like at the very end, like one of the people that, you know, lives and is like going home, they say, yes, they deserved it. I wish I was the one to do it. So like, obviously this is like a group like effort. Like everyone was like okay with it. Like it was like, oh, sad. But then I was like, well, you know, they kind of deserve it. But yeah, that's it. To finish my eggums, bake them in the oven for 14 minutes on 350, and then when they get out, you let them sit, and then you can put them in little baggies or Tupperware and put them in the fridge, and then you have them for the morning, and they're super, you know, healthy, and you pop them and you go. But back to the book. This is that. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 out of 5, so it wasn't a 5 out of 5, but it was a good book. I definitely want to read more by this author. She has one called The Hunting Party, and I really want to read it as well, so I'm probably going to put that in my, you know, to buy list. But yes, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe. It helps me out so much more than you can possibly think. And let me know if you read this book and what you think and how many point of views you think a murder mystery should have. Because I know some people want like a million of them, and then others like me only want 2 because I want to try to figure it out myself. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye!